Hi, welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. This is episode 446, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my studio this evening. If you're joining me live, please say hello. I will wait a few minutes before beginning so people can pop over from the pre-chat room or get their notifications and pop over. I know it takes a little while after I go live, so we'll sit here and wait for everyone to join us. If you enjoy the podcast, please give it a thumbs up. I know YouTube really likes to get your feedback, so if you can give it a thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. Hi, Joe and Judy, Marcia, Diane. Thanks for joining live. Looks like we've got people popping over now. That's great. Glad you could join me this evening. Hi, Judy. Thank you, Joe. Hi, Carol and Rose. I will mention how I did my hair in a couple of minutes. Hi, Julie. Hi, Carrie. So, okay, it looks like there's a little break. Hi, Kim and Karen. I found a new curling iron, and it's one of those automated ones where you take a section of your hair and you put it on the curling iron and it sucks your hair in and curls it. Hi, Christine and Rose and Rose. So it's kind of one of those foolproof ones. It does all the work for you. Hi, Lydia, and it does it at the right temperature for the type of curl you're needing. So it's supposed to be kind of like a foolproof way, and if this is any indication, I would say it is. Hi, Sherry and Carrie, Terry and Kim. I have never successfully curled my hair with a curling iron in my life. So these are about 2 hours old now, and the fact that you know how straight my hair is and you know how quickly it goes flat. So this is 2 hours in humidity. That's one of the reasons why we didn't go outside for the podcast, though I was afraid I wouldn't get to show you my curls. But they've lasted 2 hours, and I've been in and out of the house a couple of times. So maybe it really is going to last. I don't know. But anyway, if you are interested in this kind of a curling iron, I did pop it into my Amazon shop so you can see it. It worked so easy, so easy. You take little sections of hair and it sucks it in, it curls it, it tells you, it gives you a beep to tell you when to take your hair out. It has multiple settings for different types of curls, and these are 2 hours old on somebody that has poker straight hair. So I'm pretty excited to work with it some more, and I will probably do a tutorial video on it, and that will be in the Glam Chrissy playlist on YouTube, and that will also be on Instagram TV in the Glam Chrissy Instagram page, not the Kristin Omdahl page. Thanks, Lydia. Cynthia, I did not put hairspray on it, so this is without hairspray either. I have a tiny bit of volumizing spray before I blow dried my hair, and I have a tiny bit of sea salt spray after the curls came out. So this is with zero hairspray 2 hours ago and high humidity. So I'm pretty amazed at how well the curls have lasted. Thanks, Melanie. Hi, Marcia, Nikki, Carrie. Glad everybody could join live. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. Thirsty. I saw sea salt spray in a comment. It's a special kind of curling iron, Cynthia, and I popped it into my Amazon shop in the beauty folder, so you can definitely see it there. Yeah, sea salt spray is really cool, Christine. It does a type of hold to your hair that's not like hairspray. It keeps it super soft. You can see my curls aren't sticky at all. Sometimes I like wax products too, like a pomade. Those work really well in my hair. The last thing I put in my hair, though, is hairspray anymore. All right, so it looks like we've got a bunch of people joining us now, so maybe we can get started. First update I would like to share with you is that I got the curling iron on Amazon, and you can find it in my Amazon shop. The sea salt spray should be there too. If it's not, let me know and I'll pop that in later this evening as well. Hi, Sandshell. So you know we have a huge sale going on this month, Christmas in July sale, and we have every week we've put something different on sale. First week was books and single patterns. Second week was beauty products. Third week, oh no, wait a second, second week was some of the yarns, third week was body products, then fourth week was some different yarns. And so I have been super busy winding yarn and shipping orders for all of the sale items. I'm so glad everybody was able to take advantage of the Christmas and July sale. There are a few days left for the remaining things on sale. This week we have Be So Sporty yarn, Be So Sporty bling, Be So Fine bling, which has never gone on sale ever. They're all 25% off, no coupon code required. Be So Soulful is on sale, Be So Cozy, Be So Toasty, Be So Tender, maybe more. I think that's it. So if there's still plenty of yarn left, so, well, there's some left. If you still want to take advantage of the sale, if you want to buy more, there is no limit to how many times you can order during this sale. So if this sale will be going on through Sunday. And then there's a couple of days remaining in July, and we will do a fifth week sale on those days, and I'll be putting some different things on sale those days as well. But this particular week, we're doing everything that's on sale right now is going to be done. Oh, there's still plenty of bling left, Christine. If you still want bling, there's bling left. Hi, Migdalia. Yeah, so you can still order it. It's available through Sunday, and I am just about caught up. So I think 99% of the orders have gone out this week. So I'm almost caught up, and that feels really, really good because I've been behind all week getting all the orders out. So yay me! I've been busy winding yarn. Thank you all so much for the orders, though. I really appreciate it. If anybody's wondering what's behind me here, we've got the crystal chain necklace, which is a wonderful free pattern that is on my website as well as YouTube, and it is a yarn and crystal bead kit on my website. Super simple and cute. All chains with the gorgeous crystal beads, and then a single crochet binding in the back instead of a closures, which means it can just pop right over your neck. This is, and that's in Be So Fine yarn with beautiful crystal beads, and there's a kit. And then this is the Bibiana top, which is one of the knit patterns in Layers Knit, my newest knitting book. This is done in Be So Sporty yarn. You can get the pattern for a single download, or you can get Layers Knit book as a PDF instant download, or you can order a paperback copy of the book and get it personalized and autographed from me, or you can find it on Amazon all over the world. Then this one over here, this is the last day I will have the sample here with me. As of tomorrow, it will be shipped off to the mommy-to-be. This is the Owen baby blanket that I made for my best friend's daughter who's having her first baby, and the baby is going to be named Owen, and so I made him this beautiful blanket in the mom's specified colors, which were gray and white. And the Owen baby blanket pattern is a tapestry crochet motif pattern, and you can find that pattern on my website as a free pattern page, or a ad-free PDF download, or a printed pattern with the yarn kit. And there is a video for it on my YouTube channel as well, where you can learn how to read the chart, how to crochet the motif with both yarns, and then how to join in tapestry crochet, then how to join one-sided, how to join two-sided, and also how to make this beautiful twisted fringe. What makes it tapestry crochet? Tapestry is just a technique that involves carrying two yarns at the same time so that you can do collar work without seeing any floats. Notice how it is just as beautiful on the right side and wrong side. That's because of the hidden way that we carry the yarn. Oh, let me pull it down, that's not working. It's because of the way we carry the yarn so that it looks beautiful on both sides. There are no floats. The yarn is carried invisibly from one color to the next, which is not as difficult as it sounds, but makes such a spectacular finished piece. Oh yeah, of course, I love questions, and if I can answer them, I love them even better. No problem. That's the beauty of live stream. You can ask questions, and hopefully if I have the answer, I can answer it for you. So that brings me to the next thing I wanted to talk about tonight. The last couple of days we've been talking about doing a simple yet beautiful picot edging around all four sides of a knit piece that you could make in any type of a stitch and you can use for any kind of a project. Just a great way to add a simple edging with no forethought. You don't have to add it at the end. Just you add the picot to the cast on, you add the picot to the end of rows at specific places, and you add the picots to the bind off so that you have a perfect perimeter edging worked as you go to the piece. So it would work for a coaster, it would work for a dishcloth or a washcloth or a scarf or a shawl or a blanket. And we did it in knitting over the last couple of days, and if you need to see any of the stitches that I use specifically, you can find those in my How to Knit page on my website or in the Knit Stitch library on my YouTube channel. Now, Knit Stitch library playlist on my YouTube channel. And then I promised that after we did the knit one, we would do a crochet version as well. So I have a swatch begun, so I can show you what we're going to do first. And this one I did a chain 3 picot, and I think you might agree with me that it's only one of the ways that you could probably do this. I think a chain 3 would be nice and delicate for maybe a coaster or maybe a washcloth, but maybe if we were going to do this for a scarf or a shawl, I might end up doing a chain 5 picot, which is what I'm going to do on the next swatch that I'll demonstrate for you. But just to show you what we've begun so far here on single crochet, we did a chain 3 picot in the beginning foundation row, and then we work some on the edges, and when we get to the end row, I'll show you how to do it. I'll come back to this one. But in order to begin, I wanted to show you, we're going to do this again, but we're going to do it with a chain 5 picot this time, just so it shows up a little bit more. I want it to be a little more dramatic. So we're going to start with a chain 5 and then slip stitch to the 5th chain, and there's your picot. We're going to chain, let's see, we don't need a chain. We're going to work into that same chain again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. That's our first foundation stitch, foundation single crochet. And so we'll insert our hook into that next vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And we'll do that a third time. Now, if you want to watch a video on how to work foundation single crochet, I have a great video in my crochet stitch library playlist here on YouTube where you can watch right hand, left hand, and slow motion of the stitch, and it's all available on my How to Crochet page on my website too. So don't worry that I'm not doing a close-up of the actual stitch right now. You can watch it in a proper tutorial video. I'm showing you right now how to combine foundation single crochet with a picot. So that's what we're doing right now. A couple of questions came in about my hair. It's a brand new curling iron, and I popped it in my Amazon shop, and if you watch the beginning of the video, I talked about it a little more from there. Someone mentioned a blouse. I think you might have meant this one here. That's the Bibiana top from Layers Knit book. And I already forgot the third question that came up as I was going, but if I see it again, I'll try to answer it. And if I don't get to your questions, please always feel welcome to write your questions in the podcast when it goes recorded, not live. And that way I have the ability to see those as they're going. Oh, someone also mentioned the crochet hook. This is part of a really adorable crochet hook set that I sell on my website. They're called the Be So Sweet crochet hook set, and you can find them at KristinOmdahl.com. I'm using a size 4mm crochet hook with a ball of Be So Baby yarn, which is DK weight yarn, and this is in colorway Splash. Okay, so we did a chain 5 picot, we did 3 foundation single crochets, and now I'm going to do another chain 5 picot, which is chain 5, slip stitch to the 5th chain from our hook, and then I'm going to go back into the last foundation oval that I worked into and yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. There's 1. We'll do a second foundation single crochet, and we'll do a third foundation crochet. I'm not sure I did that one right, so I'm going to pop it back out, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so the sequence I'm doing is foundation single crochet 3 times alternated with a chain 5 picot. So we did 3 foundation single crochets again. So now I'm going to do a chain 5 picot, which is a chain 5, and then slip stitch to the 5th chain to form the picot. Okay, and then we'll come back to the last foundation single crochet that we worked in, and we're just going to ignore the picot like we didn't even do it at all, and just go back and do another 3 foundation single crochets. Okay, you can start to see how that's coming together. So it's time now to do another chain 5 picot, chain 5, slip stitch to the 5th chain from our hook to form a loop, and now we're going to pretend like we didn't even do it at all. Just ignore it and go back to the last loop of the last foundation single crochet and insert right back into there, and do 3 more foundation single crochets. Don't forget, you can watch a wonderful tutorial video with right hand, left hand, and slow motion of this stitch on my Crochet Stitch Library playlist here on my YouTube channel, or on the How to Crochet page on my website, and the link to both of those locations is in the video description below. Okay, it's time to do our last chain 5 picot, chain 5, and slip stitch to the 5th chain from our hook. DK actually stands for double knit, and it's just the name, it's just one of the various names for a number 3 yarn. The Craft Yarn Council of America named the yarn weights with numbers, and so this would be a number 3, and depending on what country you live in, yarns can be called different things, and DK happens to stand for double knit, but it is also the name of the weight of a number 3 yarn. Okay, so now we've done a chain 5 picot, 3 foundation single crochets, a chain 5 picot, 3 foundation single crochets, picot, 3 stitches, picot, 3 stitches, and picot. So we have 1, 2, 3, we have 12 stitches plus 1. So the last picot here is going to count as our last stitch. So we're going to have a total of 12. We're going to have a total of a multiple of 3 plus 1. So we're going to chain 1 and double or single crochet into each stitch across, which will be the free loop of each foundation single crochet on the opposite side of them. And then the last stitch will be in the last chain of the first picot. So we'll have a total of 13 stitches, or a multiple of 3 plus 1. We have 4 multiples plus 1, so it is 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13. And after saying all that, now I'm not going to remember my stitch count, so I'm going to have to count to make, I'm 1 before the end, I think, so we just want to make sure. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And the reason why I'm saying this so specifically is because it's really difficult to, not really difficult, but it's a little bit difficult to recognize the end picots and separate them from the stitches. And you'll notice on this one, I mistakenly crocheted 1 too many times into this picot, and that's why that picot isn't as pronounced as the rest of them. Or no, maybe it's this one here. I crocheted 1 too many times into this picot, and you can see it's almost invisible now. And because I did that mistake, I wanted to point it out more exaggeratedly on this one so that you would see how I made the mistake on that one and how I could avoid doing it on this one. I mean, how gorgeous is that? What wouldn't that be beautiful on? This would be beautiful on the edge of a pair of socks. This would be beautiful as a necklace. Imagine just putting some beads in here and making this a choker necklace, or making it a headband, or making it the strap of a bag. I mean, but then imagine doing this as the edging on a scarf, a blanket, a shawl, a dishcloth, a washcloth, a coaster. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Because now I'm going to show you how you can do this, not only along the beginning edge of your project, but we're going to do it vertically up the end of rows of our project. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to do it at the top edge as well. So we're going to be able to get this beautiful picot edge around all four sides of our project, no matter how big the project is you make. You could make a king size blanket with any stitch in the middle, and this will still work. You could make the smallest of preemie baby blankets with single crochet, and this will still work. You could use a lace stitch pattern or a textured stitch pattern. It does not matter what kind of project you're making with this, and it does not matter what kind of stitch pattern you use with this. It will work. You just have to know what number of stitches you want at the bottom. This is Be So Baby yarn. Number 3 DK weight yarn. You can find it on my website, and this is colorway Splash, and I'm using a number 4 crochet 4mm or a G6 crochet hook. Okay, so we're going to do one more row of single crochet without any picots. I think what I'm going to do is 2 rows of single crochet without the picot edging, and then 2 rows with the picot edging. So what it happens is you end up doing it at the beginning of 2 rows in a row, and then however much space you want between those picots along the side edges, you'll do that many rows in between. Now, if you're doing taller stitches than single crochet, you may end up doing a picot on every row. If I was doing double crochet, I think that would be the equivalent of the space between these. Thank you for the blessings, everybody. And you're welcome, Crystal. When I can answer questions, I do try. I don't always get to them, but when I can, I do. Make sure I counted right, because I wasn't counting because I was talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yay, I've got 13. Okay, so now we're ready to do one of our picots along an end of a row. So we're going to chain 5. We're doing it the same way we did at the beginning edge. Slip stitch to the 5th chain from our hook to form a ring. Then turn our work, and don't need a chain 1 at the beginning of our row now. The chain 5 picot is plenty. And we're going to single crochet in the first stitch and single crochet in each stitch across. But do you see how cute this looks? I absolutely adore this. I adore it for any kind of a project. There really isn't a project that this wouldn't look cute and wouldn't look like a finished edge on. And I think that's a really nice spacing between them too, right? It's going to be pretty comparable spacing wise to the spacing on the bottom. And this is experimental, depending on what kind of stitch you use or your gauge or whatever, or the look you're going for. You can choose how frequently or infrequently you want to add your picots in your project. Okay, so we're ready to do the next row. So we're going to do it the same way we did the previous row. We're going to, let me get my, here we go. So here is another chain 5 picot, chain 5, slip stitch to the first chain to form our loop. We've got our chain 5 picot. We're going to turn our work now and work 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 1 single crochet in each stitch across for a total of 13. Okay, I'm getting close to the end, and just like we've talked about in other tutorials where we've talked about, especially if you're a beginner, I've always talked about different tips and tricks to make sure you get the right stitch count when you're doing rows. Well, guess what? Even when you're not a beginner, you still need to check. Because sometimes, especially now, I'm doing something different, right? I'm adding those picots, and sometimes that makes me second guess myself on where the beginning and end of the row is. So I feel pretty confident if I go back and count them again. So we're going to go back here and count, and because of the picot has a slip stitch, and you might count that mistakenly as your first stitch, and it's not. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. I was right. This is the 13th stitch. But so you want to be cognizant of the fact that at the end of the row, there's that chain 5 and slip stitch. The slip stitch is a little smaller than the top V of a single crochet. So if you're questioning, oh, is that a stitch or is that a single crochet or not? Count from the opposite end back from here and see, and you can figure it out. You can. So that first stitch there is a slip stitch, and it's smaller than the single crochets. And so now I have my chain 5, my slip stitch, and my 13 single crochets across the row. If I was doing a taller stitch, this would be a lot easier to figure out. But when you're doing single crochets and you have slip stitches next to single crochets, or even when you have chains, like a chain 1 next to a single crochet, sometimes because they're so similar in size, if you don't recognize the anatomy of each of those stitches, it can be a little difficult to figure it out. It just takes practice, and it just takes the patience of counting. Sometimes we just have to count the row to make sure we get our stitch count right, because we want our stitch count right? All right, so we're almost out of time, so we're not going to be able to finish this one tonight. We'll work on this again tomorrow, but you can see, look at that beautiful spacing of the chain 5 picots at the ends of our rows. So now, as we're working our way up the rows, we're going to be able to replicate that beautiful chain 5 picot edging along the bottom here. We're going to be able to replicate that up the side of our rows, and at the very end, I'll show you how to replicate it along the top edge too, to make a perfectly edged all the way around the perimeter picot. It's so dainty, so beautiful, and so professional looking, and what an easy way to add an edging if you don't want to go crazy, elaborate, or spend too much time on it. So, does anybody have any questions about that? About what we've talked so far? We'll talk more about it tomorrow. It is pretty. Thank you, Olivia. You're welcome, Dee Dee. Or a cruise. Is everybody asking me to host a cruise? Yeah, I guess it's something I should probably figure out before long. Might be the easiest way to get the coordinating of something like that. If I do something here, I have to be the coordinator of it, and I just don't have time to do it. So maybe if I look into doing some sort of a cruise, maybe that would be easier for me. Oh yes, I didn't ask for a number. Christine said 4, so we'll go with that. She came up with a number before I even asked for one, but she knew what was coming. So here's the 4th issue. Issue 6 is almost done. I'm going to have it. It's been through first round of editing. We're so close to. There's not much to edit left. Almost done with it. The cover is done. It's gorgeous, and I should have it available within a week. I think issue 6 is going to be available within the week. So excited for you guys to see it. And we're working on issue 7 now as well. So lots of fun, exciting stuff coming for the Create, Share, Inspire notebooks. This is issue 4, and we will randomly pick a quote. Ooh, this is a good one. Well, we'll do a cruise with the beach. Someone's worried about the beach. When we get around to cruises, maybe the first one will be somewhere with the beach. Where do I live? I live in Southwest Florida. It's Eastern time zone. Okay, I love this quote. Love, love, love it. I've known about this one for years. I've used it and been inspired by it, been motivated by it for years. I love it. It's by Abraham Lincoln. I don't like that man. I must get to know him better. Let that one sink in for a second. because I think it takes a second for that one to really sink in, because I don't think we ever get to the point where, hold on a second. What, Marlon? I can't see you in the lights.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
You remember where everything, right?
Yeah.
All right. And you have your wallet?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to the gym after here, so I'll just see you later.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, there we go. You heard Marlon's voice. He won't come on camera, but he had to tell me he was leaving, so. All right, so yes, this is a deep one, very deep. I don't think that we necessarily live in a culture where we get past the first line. We get to that first line of, I don't like that man, and we just leave it as that. But to go to that second line, I must get to know him better. You know, as human beings, we're more alike than we are different. And just because you don't like something about someone, I guarantee you, if you get to know them better, you'll find other things that you will like about them. Yes. Does this require good boundaries? And I mean, I always feel like I have to give that disclaimer because some of us have not always had good boundaries. And it is important that if there are people that you don't like, you might have good reasons for it. And there might be reasons why you need to develop stronger boundaries for it. But all that aside, if you just don't like somebody, perhaps you just need to get to know them better to find out there are things to like about them. I love that because I think more times than not, we could really change the relationships and the situations around us by just thinking about this super duper simple and deep quote. So thank you, Abraham Lincoln. Let's read it one more time. I don't like that man. I must get to know him better. Oh, so awesome. And what a great way to end the podcast tonight. Maybe there'll be an example in your life where you could think about that tonight. Or maybe there'll be some situation where you could try to get to know someone better that maybe you thought was bitchy before or you thought was rude to you before. You know, I'm getting ready to go to the gym in a few minutes, and one of the guys that checks you in isn't always friendly there, and it intimidates me sometimes. And you know what? Maybe I'll smile and be nice to him anyways tonight instead of putting my eyes down and not doing that. So that's the first thing that I thought of that I can do. And maybe there'll be a situation like that for you too. Maybe there's a lady at the grocery store that isn't nice to you, and you always try to avoid her. Maybe there's a reason to be nice to her anyway. You never know. Right? You never know. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy evening to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, chatting with me and everyone else, and even the demos or even the samples that we talked about. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye.